Have you ever gotten out of bed, taken just a few steps, and suddenly felt lightheaded? Like the floor beneath you isn't quite steady? Sometimes it's just a brief moment of dizziness. But other times, the spinning sensation is strong enough that you have to grab onto a chair or sit down and wait for things to settle. The strange part is, the night before, everything seemed fine. You slept well, felt normal, and then the morning comes and everything feels off balance. Morning dizziness is a common experience for older adults, but what many people don't realize is that it's not always caused by a serious medical condition. In fact, quite often, it's our own everyday morning habits, things we've done for years without thinking, that can trigger that loss of balance, sudden drop in blood pressure, or that feeling of being about to fall. In today's video, we'll explore 5 morning habits that could be making you dizzy, and how a few gentle adjustments can help you start your day more safely. This isn't about making you worry. It's about helping you see that, with just a few small, well-timed changes, you can prevent discomfort and avoid unnecessary risks. If you or someone you love has ever felt that strange lightheadedness in the morning, stay tuned. Habit number 2 or 4 might be something you're doing every day without even realizing it. Make sure to stay until the end. We'll go over a simple, easy-to-remember summary so you can start applying it as soon as tomorrow morning. If you're enjoying this content, comment 1 below to let me know you're here. If not, comment 0 and I'll work harder to bring you even better content. Now let's started. Habit 1. Getting up too quickly after sleeping. There's a phenomenon many older adults experience, yet few truly pay attention to it. That lightheaded, floating, or off-balance feeling right after waking up. You open your eyes, notice the morning light, and out of habit, quickly sit up. But within seconds, a wave of dizziness hits. The floor seems to tilt slightly. The room wavers. You pause, sit still, maybe hold on to the edge of the bed and wait for it to pass. You tell yourself it's probably just a bad night's sleep, but if this happens often, the cause may not be sleep-related at all. It might be the habit of getting up too quickly in the morning. I once met a woman named Evelyn, 74 years old, living alone in New Mexico. She was relatively healthy and independent, taking care of herself quite well. But recently she had been experiencing mild morning dizziness, especially when rushing out of bed to make it to her morning exercise group. She thought it might be dehydration or a change in the weather. Then one morning, she stood up too fast, lost her balance, and slipped right by her bed. Thankfully, she wasn't seriously injured, but that fall made her pause and reconsider how she was starting her day. Physiologically, this is easy to explain. While you sleep, your body enters a deep rest state. Your heart rate slows, your blood pressure drops, and your blood vessels expand. Blood flow to the brain also decreases compared to when you're active. If you suddenly move from lying down to sitting or standing, your nervous system doesn't have enough time to regulate blood pressure. As a result, not enough blood reaches your brain in those first few seconds, leading to what's known as orthostatic hypotension. It's one of the most common causes of morning dizziness in older adults. The problem is, if you keep the habit of sitting up quickly each morning, you're unintentionally putting your body into a repeated state of imbalance. At first, the dizziness might seem minor, but when paired with a slick floor, dim lighting, or even a moment of distraction, it can lead to falls. And as we know, a fall in later life is never a simple thing. The solution is gentle. After waking up, don't sit up right away. First, roll to your side and pause for a few seconds. Then slowly push yourself up to a seated position. Once you're sitting on the edge of the bed, wait another 30 to 60 seconds. In that time, you can take deep breaths, rub your palms together, or simply give your body a moment to fully wake up. Just 1 extra minute each morning allows your cardiovascular system time to adjust your blood pressure, ensures proper blood flow to the brain, and significantly reduces the risk of imbalance. For older adults, the goal isn't to move quickly, but to move in tune with the body's rhythm. Your morning should begin like a gentle piece of music, slow, deliberate, and intentional. Sitting up slowly is the first note. For your safety, don't skip that simple act. Habit 2. Drinking coffee or skipping breakfast on an empty stomach. There's a morning habit many people have maintained for years. Drinking coffee as soon as they wake up, before eating anything. For many older adults, that morning cup of coffee feels like a comforting ritual, something that jumpstarts the day with warmth, energy, and familiarity. But if you've ever had coffee on an empty stomach and then felt a bit shaky, experienced a racing heartbeat, or even a slight dizziness, that might be your body reacting negatively, especially when you haven't eaten. I once heard a 68-year-old gentleman say he never eats breakfast. He only needs a strong black coffee and a cigarette to feel ready for the day. But lately, he's been feeling lightheaded after drinking it. Some mornings he has to sit down and wait a few minutes until he feels normal again. He thought it might be low blood pressure, but didn't realize that it was the coffee on an empty stomach causing the problem. Here's the truth. When you drink coffee before eating, your metabolism can become imbalanced. Caffeine stimulates your adrenal glands to release adrenaline, which helps you feel alert. But it also increases your heart rate, dilates blood vessels, and triggers insulin release. If you haven't eaten, your blood sugar can drop quickly, leaving you feeling weak, shaky, sweaty, dizzy, or even faint, especially if you're on blood sugar-lowering medication. As we age, the nervous system becomes less efficient at regulating blood sugar. Skipping breakfast and flooding your system with caffeine means your body doesn't have the fuel it needs to handle the stimulation. The result? A blood sugar crash, a common cause of morning dizziness and fatigue in people over 60. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach also increases the risk of stomach irritation, acid reflux, and digestive discomfort, problems many older adults already deal with quietly. The solution isn't to give up coffee entirely, but to change the order. Start with something light, a slice of toast, a few spoonfuls of oatmeal, a banana, or even just a warm glass of milk. Then wait 20 to 30 minutes before having your coffee. By then, your body has a metabolic foundation to safely process the caffeine, reducing the risk of feeling overheated or dizzy. If you've been drinking coffee this way for years, don't worry. You don't have to change everything overnight. Just start tomorrow by adding a bite of something small or a sip of something nourishing before your first cup. It's a small change, but one that can protect you from unexpected dizziness or fatigue. Remember, coffee isn't the problem. How you drink it makes all the difference. And at this stage in life, your body needs gentleness, not sudden jolts of stimulation. Habit 3. Take a hot shower right after waking up. You might think there's nothing more comforting than hot water cascading down your back first thing in the morning. When the air is still chilly and your body hasn't fully woken up, being wrapped in warm steam can feel like a reward for getting out of bed early. That's why taking a hot shower right after waking up becomes a kind of quiet ritual for many people. As if, I can't wake up without it. But if you've ever felt a little lightheaded in the shower, slightly dizzy, ears ringing, vision fading for a few seconds, it might be your body reacting to what you believed was helping it wake up. Hot showers, especially right after getting out of bed, can cause a drop in blood pressure in older adults. Why? Because after a night of deep rest, your heart rate is slow and your blood vessels are constricted to conserve body heat. When you suddenly expose your skin to hot water, your blood vessels dilate quickly. This causes more blood to rush to the surface of your skin, which means less blood is available to your heart and brain, leading to temporary lightheadedness or dizziness. The danger lies in where this happens: the bathroom, one of the most slippery places in the house. If that dizzy spell hits just as you're turning, stepping, or bending to wash your hair, it only takes a second of imbalance to lead to a fall. The lesson here isn't don't shower in the morning. It's don't rush. Give your body time to truly wake up before stepping into a hot shower. Spend 30 minutes sipping water, walking around gently, breathing deeply, then shower. When you do, keep the water comfortably warm, not scalding, and avoid pouring hot water directly on your head or chest at the beginning. Here's another tip. Leave the bathroom door slightly ajar so the steam doesn't build up too much, making it easier to breathe. If possible, install a grab bar or use a non-slip mat for extra safety. There's nothing wrong with morning showers. The problem is when they become a daily thermal shock your body isn't ready for. At this stage of life, comfort should come from a slower pace, not from hot water jolting your heart awake. So if you still believe that hot water helps you feel more alert, perhaps it's time to gently step away from that cozy trap before it turns into something more serious. Habit 4. Taking medicine in the morning on an empty stomach. There are habits you followed for so many years that you no longer think to question them, like taking your morning medication right after waking up, before eating or even drinking anything. It seems like a small, harmless action repeated daily, but sometimes it's the small things that quietly add up, leaving you feeling more tired, more dizzy, and not quite knowing why. Many medications commonly prescribed to older adults, such as blood pressure meds, diuretics, vasodilators, or diabetes drugs, can affect blood pressure and blood sugar levels, especially when taken on an empty stomach. In the early morning, your body is still in a deep rest mode. Your blood pressure is lower than usual. Your heart is beating more slowly. If you take medications that lower blood pressure or dilate blood vessels at that moment, without any food or water in your system, the risk of feeling dizzy, lightheaded, or faint increases significantly. The problem is, this doesn't happen dramatically. It builds quietly, day by day. You might simply feel a little weaker than yesterday, a bit dizzy when stepping out of bed, or not quite right, so you sit down for a moment. You blame it on aging, on the weather, or on a restless night's sleep. But rarely do people consider that the real cause might be the way they're taking their medication. Too early, too fast, without giving their body a chance to wake up fully. If this surprises you, it might be time to pause and ask, do I fully understand the medications I'm taking? Am I following the doctor's orders, but forgetting to listen to my own body? The fix is simple. Unless your doctor specifically tells you to take the medication on an empty stomach, you can eat something light first. A slice of toast, a banana, a few spoonfuls of oatmeal. Then take your meds. Always drink a full glass of water, which helps the medicine dissolve, circulate, and prevents irritation to your stomach. If you're on multiple medications, consider reorganizing the timing so your morning doesn't become a chemical shock while your body is still waking up. You might benefit from a pill organizer or a written schedule. Not because you're weak, but because your body now needs gentler, steadier rhythms. We can't always change the medications we need, but we can change how we care for ourselves while taking them. And sometimes, a small shift, like eating before you take your pills, is all it takes to avoid those shaky mornings and start the day feeling steady, clear, and safe. Habit 5. Don't drink water or drink too quickly when you wake up. Every morning before doing anything else, do you drink water? Some people answer yes with confidence, having heard that drinking water in the morning helps detox the body and jumpstart digestion. But many others simply forget. They forget because they're in a rush, because they don't feel thirsty, or they drink quickly, like checking off a task. One big gulp, swallowed fast, then straight to the kitchen or the shower. What most people don't realize is this. After a full night without hydration, your body is actually thirstier than you think. And if you don't replenish properly, or if you drink too quickly, you may feel dizzy, off balance, or even slightly nauseated, especially in older age. While you sleep, your body still loses water through breathing, through your skin, and through kidney filtration. In the morning, your blood tends to be thicker, and your heart rate and blood pressure are more easily disrupted, especially if you get out of bed too quickly without first rehydrating. If you don't drink water, your blood volume stays low, and blood flow to the brain can drop, causing lightheadedness. But if you drink too fast, it may trigger a gastric reflex that temporarily lowers your blood pressure, leaving you dizzy or queasy. Water, something so simple and good, can still make you feel worse if not approached mindfully. And here's the surprising part. It's often not the water, but the rush, both in action and mindset, that throws your morning off balance. Instead of making your body wait, try setting a gentler tone for the day. Upon waking, sit quietly for a moment, then drink small sips of room temperature or warm water. Nothing cold, nothing excessive, nothing rushed. You might keep a glass of water on your nightstand from the night before, or a small thermos nearby. Think of it as a quiet morning greeting to yourself. Unhurried, kind, intentional. You'll notice the difference not in the water itself, but in the way you begin to reconnect with your body. Slowly, gracefully, with gratitude. Water doesn't just moisten your throat. It helps your blood circulate better, wakes your nervous system more gently, and brings your brain fully online. Just by drinking the right way, you may eliminate one of the most common hidden causes of morning dizziness. No pills needed. Aging doesn't demand dramatic change. Sometimes a glass of water at the right moment and a rhythm that honors your body can be a quiet but powerful transformation. If you've ever wondered why you tend to feel dizzy in the morning, I hope this video has offered you some answers. And more importantly, a few gentle, practical changes you can start applying as early as tomorrow. You don't need to overhaul your entire routine. Sometimes, just a few seconds, a few small adjustments can make a big difference in your health and safety. If you found this video helpful, please tap like as a way to remind yourself of what matters. And if you think someone in your family might benefit from this information too, don't hesitate to share it. Sometimes, a timely reminder is all it takes to prevent something that didn't have to happen. If you'd like to keep receiving simple, age-appropriate guidance, that honors your body and your pace. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so we can meet again in the next peaceful morning together.